The role of a mediator is to work with two parties in a divorce and to help them achieve a settlement on all of the issues that we have to in order to have a complete agreement at the end. And in doing that, the mediator has to be really skilled at being able to listen to both parties and to help them convey to the other why it is that they're feeling a certain way about a particular issue, and helping them to then see the different options that they have, and that it's not always black and white, and that perhaps the solution is somewhere in between. And so it's my job to help them be able to see that and get to that point, and to try to do that with as much compassion and understanding as I possibly can. There is no formal certification that is required in order to be a mediator. It is important for people when they are looking to hire a mediator that they find someone who is experienced in this work, someone who is actually doing this work on a regular basis. I think that's very important. And I say that because as mediation becomes more popular, I find that a lot of professionals are putting themselves out there as mediators. And they can do that because there is no formal certification. There are certainly trainings out there, and I have been well trained for many years now. But it is important to take a look at the qualifications that someone has, the pedigree that they have, the associations that they belong to. In New York State, there is the New York State Council on Divorce Mediation. I'm a very active member, and I have found that to be integral to my success at this type of work. It's very important to have other mediators that you could learn from, that you can work with to help hone your skills, and to be making sure that you are keeping your practice up to speed. That's something that's very important, and I think a quality that you should be looking for when choosing a mediator. I will always tell my clients that they have a right to have a consulting attorney on the side to work with, an independent consulting attorney of their own. That is their right. I welcome it. I highly recommend it. I do not require it. And so there could be one spouse that chooses to work with a consulting attorney, and the other may say, I don't really feel like I need that. That's what's nice about it. It's totally up to you to make that decision. I do recommend it, and I do welcome it though, because I find that it adds a layer of confidence for the clients that I'm working with, for them to know that they're entering into an agreement that is fair, and for them to understand fully what the law is and how it could impact their case, and to give them a greater sense of confidence in entering into an agreement. So I welcome it. It's not common, it's not the norm, but I've done a number of cases like this where the parties' attorneys, consulting attorneys, will join the mediation. I'm very open to doing a mediation in that way if it's what the parties need in order to get it done. I have also done it in a situation where one party has their attorney join the session and the other does not. You can only do that when you have the consent of everybody, but it works really well for a client who may feel that they're not confident enough to sit in the sessions and be able to speak up or advocate well for themselves. And that's a concern that people very often have about entering into a mediation, that they feel like they'll just get walked all over, or they won't be able to speak up because they're very emotional about things, or not well versed in the finances, or they feel like they won't be heard. And so if what is necessary in order to get a family to a comprehensive agreement is to have that consulting attorney in the room with us, I'm totally open to it. When there is tension in the mediation room, I try to acknowledge it. I don't ignore it. And sometimes people just need the opportunity to be heard or to say their piece and get it off their chest. And I try to control when clients are veering off into, areas that aren't really productive or relevant. But sometimes it's necessary to allow someone to say what it is that is bothering them in order to progress thereafter. And so if I'm getting the sense that that's what needs to happen, I will allow that to happen. If I'm finding that people are just being petty and fighting with one another and it's not productive, I will definitely try to stop that and remind them, guys, this is a very expensive meeting. So let's not waste our time talking about fights that have happened in the past. Let's be very forward thinking and pay attention just to solutions and resolution. The role of mediator is something that I take so seriously and pride myself on, in being able to listen to both sides and to being able to help them try to find solutions, consider the options, and reach an agreement that makes sense for them so that they can move forward in the best way possible.